Hey everyone, I'm Billy. I'm currently developing a 3D top-down shooter game. I intend to document my process here to inspire you to keep making your own games. Let's get started. I began by modeling the main character. I know this sounds like a weird place to start, but 3D art is my strong suit. In a weird way, the character inspired the rest of development. I modeled a basic human mesh in 3ds Max to real-world scale to keep things proportional. I then took that basic flat mesh and extruded armor details straight out of the geometry that already existed. This was a quick way to add armor and that sci-fi feeling to the character. Next was the UV unwrap. I placed seams on the edges that were close to 90 degrees and did a basic pelt map along with some relaxing. I also built a high poly version of the character using turbo smooth and control loops. This high poly version had softer edges than the very sharp edges on the low poly. I will bake these details into my low poly version when I bring it all into Substance Painter. As you can see, the edges of the armor are a lot softer here in Substance Painter, even though it's on the low poly mesh. I used a sci-fi fabric smart material for the base of the character's armor. For the actual armor plates, I put the plastic glossy material on. I feel like this material sells sci-fi pretty well. Add some edge wear and scratches and you're in a good spot. The reflective visor really adds a halo feel to the character, which gets me excited for the rest of development. Rather than having armor plates in the high poly, I painted them on in Substance Painter afterwards. This makes the character look less like a plastic toy and more like a sci-fi soldier. After the character's been modeled and textured, I brought him into Mixamo for auto rigging and exported a bunch of animations into Unity. I set up a blend tree that links the horizontal and vertical inputs into the animations of the character. These are mapped to the WASD keys on the keyboard. I also brought in hit, fire, and reload animations into the project. Once all these assets were in Unity, I needed to actually get it all working. In the past, I've started and quit many projects. Most of them I gave up on after realizing I'm a bad programmer and do not enjoy the programming process. Not too long ago, I stumbled across a Unity plugin called Playmaker by Hutong Games. It's a visual scripting solution for Unity, and it's been a game changer for me. I don't want to go too deep into how my player and enemies are set up right now, because I may not be doing it in the best way possible, but if you want some more breakdowns, let me know. Once I had movement and shooting implemented, I was extremely motivated to keep working. I quickly added shooting sound effects and the ability to destroy capsule enemies. I then added hit animations to the player and a death animation when he took too much damage. Next was health and ammo heads-up display elements. They don't look too great yet, but they are functional. Artificial intelligence is something that's very daunting at first. I didn't really know where to start. Luckily, there were some great tutorials by Hutong Games and other YouTubers on how to set up nav meshes and get enemies to chase you and also shoot at you. I eventually replaced these red capsule enemies with reskinned models of the player character. I plan to model aliens to be the final enemies in-game. The enemies use ray casting to check if the player is in sight. They also have a collision check to see if the player is in range, has shot near them, or has shot them directly. They have a chase behavior and will shoot the player if she is in range and is visible. The enemies all have varying death animations and also multiple victory animations when the player is killed. I found this increases the want for revenge against these enemies. All this brings us to the current version of the prototype. There is a mission objective which must be collected and returned to the mission start to be victorious. I want to make enemies spawn once the objective is picked up, but that'll be in the next version. You can check out the start to finish gameplay on screen now. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my devlog. It was a little longer than I expected, but I don't want to leave too much out. If you have any critiques about the game, or my video format, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and ArtStation. Links in the description below. Thank you. Now go make some games.